5,705 pounds, Wildwood 22 RBS here at Haywood RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is that ideal under 30 foot, actually I think it's under 28 foot even, maybe shorter than that. Couples camper, expansive L lounge that actually gives an adult enough space to lay down, fantastic storage, and a whole bunch of really cool updates like their new enclosed accessibility that I think you're gonna like. Like a lot of brands that build a layout like this, we have, I don't know, pretty good, I would say, travel accessibility. I have the slide closed currently. You can get to your kitchen, your seating, your storage. The fridge, unfortunately, you can't get to on this one. What I wish they would do is make that a flip up down countertop extension. But one of the things with these thermal foil sealed edge countertops that you find in these Wildwoods is that you have to kind of pre-engineer them, and making changes like that is not something that can happen quickly. I suspect it's something that will happen in time, but at the current time it's just not available. Obviously you do not have access to the bedroom without hitting the slide, so let's get her opened up and see what's in store. What's great about this one, this is one of those models, you know, every brand has their own little way of executing things. This floor plan just really works with the Wildwood way of doing things, because it's a shorter model. It doesn't weigh a terrible amount in comparison to a lot of things out there, but it doesn't feel small, and there's reasons for it. The light updated color package, and I love the updates that they have on like the ceiling texture in here. It just everything looks good in it, light, bright, comfortable, but still very like calm, conservative, not loud, not in your face. It also doesn't hurt the fact that we've got a 6'9" interior as opposed to a common 6.5 foot sidewall. So it is taller inside, which opens it right up. And you might have noticed that bright white LED light above the slide out, as opposed to the common blue disco lights out there. I don't necessarily specifically personally dislike the disco lights. I just know that white is brighter, brighter feels bigger, and bigger feels better. Also, the decision to include that refrigerator in the slide to get it off the floor plan was really clutch. Now, speaking of that fridge, this is a huge thing. More and more brands have jumped on this bandwagon, but Wildwood was the first to bring it to main market standard, and that is this 10.7 cubic foot 12 volt compressor fridge as compared to a conventional absorption fridge. There's The difference between the two refrigerators is a whole video in and of itself, and I can't cover that here in a quick flyby, but long story short, it's giving you about 67% more cold storage while still being completely traveling friendly. And frankly, you had a little portable like solar package to this thing, like a little solar suitcase that you can plug into the outside solar prep, and it can still be off-grid friendly. Now as we go through the kitchen, you see that there's a big space under the sink that you can open right up, ideal for something like a wastebasket. But of course we have some handy plywood full extension drawers for our forks, spoons, knives, spatulas, etc. I mentioned it when the slide was closed, but all sealed edge countertops, even in the bathroom. That's a recent update. Previously, full Wildwood was T-molded when it wasn't the kitchen. Now they're a little more consistent. Plus you see that recessed stovetop there to really give you some prep space, big breeze window, and a dish drying rack above that recessed sink with the, above the recessed sink. There we go, sorry. Too many words flying through my head. I haven't had enough caffeine yet. Anyway, high-rise, removable sprayer faucet, and double sets of easy reach power outlets right here. Because I swear appliances keep getting shorter and shorter cables. Now this being extra tall, something Wildwood's always good about, even in their not extra tall X-Lite sister, is doubling your overhead cabinet space via those shelves. Now we'll take a second look at the entertainment center when we swing back the other way. But I do like to point out, since we're talking about storage, the handy shoe garage right next to the entry door as you come in. And I had to use the sofa armrest to hold that door open because the RV is not level right now and this door kept wanting to shut on me. And I did not want you to miss out on the walk-in pantry that they have over here. That's some serious storage space. And I like how the walk-in pantry even has its own little dedicated light. But what I also like, if I kick that armrest out of the way, is kick the armrest out of the way. There we go. You can see if that light was on from out here, so you don't accidentally leave it on and kill your battery. Of course, this RV has a battery disconnect switch that we'll look at in a few minutes that would probably prevent that regardless. Now, up front, bedroom, big, wide open, just a huge door. You see that bed is easy lift on a plywood deck with those dual gas struts. So getting, you know, into that storage is very simple and easy. But this is the start of the Wildwood stow and go storage system here. Notice that there's that shoe garage below, but those 4 individual totes, they're like exactly the perfect size if you want to fold up some shirts or some pants or something like that, extra towels maybe, or just anything, extra stuff. You know, if you've got a grandkid coming for the weekend maybe, you could throw some of their stuff in one of those, like a little toy chest or something like that. But the fact is, it operates in a sense like dresser drawers that a lot of conventional travel trailers, especially something this size, typically lack. You can obviously see those dual full-length hanging closets, but over here on the side, you've got a full giant viewing window, but it does also open for airflow, and of course, there are TV hookups up there on the wall, so if you want to go throw in a swing arm mount TV against that wall, you could. Now, you see a set of USB outlets there, but you're not seeing household outlets. You're thinking, what the heck, man? Well, you might also notice how there's that cutaway in these sidewall stands. And then there's the, or bedside stands, I should say. The household outlets are inside of that. This is cool. They took an old feature, that little cutaway cubby right there. Wildwood used to do that like 10 years ago. All of a sudden they went, oh my gosh, if we do that, we could make CPAP storage. But it's good for more than just that. Frankly, if you're a little claustrophobic, it helps you not feel so boxed in. And frankly, if you know, you want to just keep your phone charging in there or something like that. I mean, there's nothing that says that has to only be a CPAP machine. There's a lot of different ways you could use this right here. Flipping us back around the other way, I love that herringbone pattern on the flooring there. Now, should you choose to add a TV to this RV on that big accent wall right there, it's directly across from the seating, and it would create what I call no neck wrecker entertainment. And I say that a lot, but it's a phrase that just makes sense. What I like, though, is if you choose to do that, a lot of times if a brand doesn't already have a TV and wiring run, it's going to be ugly when you do it because they didn't leave you a way to do it pretty. But that's not the case with Wildwood. You see how they left you the little access ports so that, you know, if you want to feed a little HDMI and power cord through here or something like that, you can do so and kind of mask everything and hide everything. So it's a very easily upgraded entertainment center. And that trend continues as we go down. We've got a nice little pocket here that I think could make a cool little device charging station. And that sound bar is more than just a sound bar. It also has HDMI and USB plugs. So that can make this streaming media friendly. You got like a Roku stick or whatever, plug it in there, run an HDMI cable to the TV, bam, you are suddenly high-def streaming media capable. And how cool is that? Electric space heating fireplace with remote control. Now, you can use that for heat without burning up your propane, or you can just use it for some cool LED visuals. As we swing around here, though, it is what they've done in this slide out. So first off, we got these huge panoramic windows, and they make this thing look and feel larger. And that's, again, the trend here is that this is small, but it doesn't feel small. But then we got this giant adult-sized napping couch. If you want to stretch out on a thing, even if you're big like me, throw a pillow in the corner, watch some TV, you got plenty of place to do that. And frankly, you could easily entertain friends. But one of the questions people are going to have is, sure, but where do we eat? Well, you pop on that, you know, quick release on and off little removable table. You see it actually mounts right to the sofa itself. So there's no, like, if you leave it on there and you close the slide, you don't run the risk of breaking it. It's actually really smart that way. But you see, you've got a great little couple's dining space, but frankly, you could throw a couple chairs in front of it and have a neat little friendly entertainment area. But there's nothing that says you couldn't just simply turn the table and turn the tables? I don't know, that sounds very impending and doomy, doesn't it? Anyway, but you couldn't just turn the table and make it into a neat little kind of, you know, quick up, easy down kind of snack bar situation. It's just really neat the different ways you can arrange this. But what's cool is not only is this a multi-adult entertaining camper, it has awesome adult-sized guest sleeping. And that's what's really cool about this one. There's no one way to use this floor plan. That's why I call these, some people call them L lounges, Chaise lounges, J lounges. I call it a Swiss Army sofa because it only does everything. Also, this is a really good time when we're talking about sleeping to take a look at those blackout roll-down shades that you get in these Wildwoods, and they extend way past the windows. So even now with some light bleeding in, the light's really contained against the wall, and it's not going to directly stab the guest or maybe a husband who's in the doghouse sleeping on the couch. Not going to get you right in the eye. But like an infomercial, but wait, there's more! Because below all of that is more of their stow-and-go storage, kind of like we saw under the bed, but it has recently been expanded into what I call the superior stackable stow-and-go system, because you can see that those new extra large totes right there have those neat little interlocking lids that you can easily... I mean, the amount of storage in this thing, it's deceptive. It's like a transformer. There's just more than meets the eye here. So kind of like the bedroom, we get that big sliding door back to the bathroom there, which is very travel accessible. And that makes this thing look and feel huge. And it's the way that they've included like good bedroom and bathroom privacy, but still giving you that wide open look and feel that makes this great. Now remember, this is a taller series of travel trailer. So that 30 by 36 shower right there with that new radius shower track gives us plenty of headroom, plenty of elbow room. And you can see they did a great job of putting linen space in here. And that goes all the way down to the floor itself. Now as we swing around the side, you see that there is more of that sealed edge countertop type stuff. And I love how they accented that bathroom wall right there behind that extra large vanity. But you see, there's even more storage to be had yet. They really loaded up this bathroom. And as we start taking a look up here, I want to leave you with one parting thought before we step outside. Technically, right now, you're in the shower with me. And if we magically teleported ourselves under that bed into the pass-through storage, this is what it would look like. You can see it is huge. They make theirs extra tall and very expansive. You see a couple handy things over here. Like they keep all of the handles for like you know, your power tongue jack override if you had to manually crank it or wanted to for some reason. They keep it all up out of the way, so it's not just loose and floating around and dinging up your woodwork. But then you see that they include that handy little drill chuck right there, so that if you want to basically turn this thing, like if you want to pretend you're in a NASCAR pit crew and have what we kind of tongue-in-cheek call the cordless jack system, you can. Now another awesome Wildwood feature is front and rear, they have strong arm stabilizers. You see that yellow bar right there on that stabilizer jack. This is not a really good angle for it, is it? You'll see more of that as we go around. I'll try to point it out again on the back side. But those things right there, they will lock down the stability of this camper and it will feel solid as a rock on a campsite. Wildwood also uses 5,000 pound corner jacks, which is like double the industry standard. So this thing really has the ability to get real tight and snug to the ground. Furrion side mount portable solar panel plug right there, so if you just want to kind of keep the batteries topped off, you can. And that is very valuable if you consider dry camping with this RV and its 12-volt fridge. If you do want to go boondocking, all you have to do, I would recommend a second battery, but get a 100-watt solar panel, plug it into that thing, bang. It is indefinitely capable of, you know, boondock use. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of weather variance involved in there, but typically speaking, decent camping weather, you shouldn't have a problem. Also, what is kind of nice is up front here, we have a simple but effective 12-volt battery disconnect. So when the RV's in storage, you also don't worry about the battery getting trickle drained and killed. Power awning, power tongue jack, that stuff is a dime a dozen. What is not a dime a dozen is the Tough Coat skin package you find on Wildwoods. They have an extra thick front nose skin to help deflect wind buffeting and dents. Also, the darker skin bands here are 33% thicker, and all sidewall aluminum has an anti-scratch coating on it. So that if you're going off-grid, especially with a little camper like this, and you got a little portable solar pack or a generator like we talked about, you know, if there's low-hanging tree branches, it's not going to scar everything up. Now, a lot of campers have an enclosed and heated belly, but not like this. Not with the corrugated ABS sectionalized easy service drop panel accessibility you find on these Wildwoods. These are like 4x8 sheets that can be individually dropped in case you ever had to do some underbelly service work and then replaced. You don't have to take a razor knife, cut a access panel into a corrugated underbelly enclosure, and then duct tape it back up. which is really the only thing you can do on most enclosed underbellies. You find this only, like, you find it here in the Wildwoods, and then other than that, it's almost exclusively used on some really high-level fifth wheels. Wildwood slides are triple sealed. That's one of those things. I actually did a full Wildwood factory walkthrough tour if you kind of want to see what one of these things looks like around that slide opening without the slide in it. You know, slide side breeze window there, giving us plenty of airflow. We have a fully walkable roof, 5/8 tongue groove plywood floor decking. And, of course, we have the backup camera prep there, so whether you're looking for a backup only or even in-motion observation camera. And I said we would take a second look at these stabilizer jacks on the back here, just to give you an idea. Once you put that jack leg down, you turn that T-handle a quarter crank, and this thing will not move. Over on the campsite, they gave us the biggest awning they could. It's not as long as you might think, but that big bedroom window that opens for airflow and that huge baggage door kind of shoved the awning back a little bit. Thankfully, they mounted that awning all the way to the rear wall to really maximize its space. That's an anti-slam entry door, so the wind doesn't grab it and smash it against the side of the trailer. And the XL entry handle and standard LCI stable steps kind of come together to make this thing an easy come and go sort of package. It does have white lighting under the awning, and you've got the little blue accent lights here behind the speakers. And a lot of brands do that because the one supplier sells all those speakers pretty cheap, basically. If we're just calling a spade and a duck, that's pretty much the way she walks. So if you appreciate the candor and the transparency, give our team here at Haylett RV a call. We only do everything, whether it's hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between. Well, except for hidden dealer fees. We'll leave those to the big box stores.